Well, Anna and Shep and I are up for about 5 days, and the number one priority is to insulate the cathedral ceiling and get that all sealed and buttoned up because it is fall and it's cooler, and we'd like to start using the wood stove and enjoy this time of year up here instead of freezing our butts off. Anyway, Stan, our next door neighbor, has lent us some scaffolding. I've rented some extra platforms for the scaffolding, and we've ordered a massive amount of insulation. So we're all set and no excuses, and we're good to go. Well, we just arrived up at the cabin right as the timber mart truck had driven up. We followed them in, and we just unloaded 21 bags of insulation. We needed some 16-inch center for the gable end, some R14 24-inch center for the ceiling, and lots of R22 24-inch center for the ceiling as well. So we've got a lot of materials. It's hard to believe that we're going to have to put all that up. I also rented 3 scaffold platforms for the scaffolding, and they were really excellent about that. I think they charged $35 each per day, or maybe it was $35 for all 3 per day. But since I had such a large order of Roxul, they just sent them for free, which was very nice of them, I thought. So we're going to put the platforms up now and make a plan on how to get started today. Okay. That's good. So now I'm completing the vents all the way up to the peak now that I've got the scaffold. But what I discovered is that's the peak there. It only took 4 vents to make it all the way to the peak. But you'll see here, it pulls up about 9 or 10 inches short on each channel. And that's because in the kitchen, our first vent down there was one of those bendable pink ones. And when you bend it, you lose about a foot of length or close to it. And that's what that space is. So we'll have to cut a piece and place it in there to make it continuous all the way up. And the reason it's there instead of at the top, I thought it'll be easier to put a full vent up there and bit and piece down here. So that's what we're going to do. So we're able to add a approximately 10-inch piece insert there. They don't fit perfectly, so some of them had to be taped. And now we're continuous airflow all the way up to the peak. So we've got 4 channels now with venting all the way to the peak. And since we've got the scaffolding in place, we're going to stop the venting and start putting some insulation in right now, these first three for sure.
Oh. Yeah.
We arrived later in the afternoon yesterday and didn't have a whole lot of time, but what we did manage to do was get the vents up all the way to the peak on this side, and then we started insulating and got that done as well. So this morning we'll pick up where we left off and we'll do some insulating here. Hopefully that goes smoothly and we can move over to this side. This is the east side, and we'll try and get the vents all up there and then start insulating there as well. To make it safer up there, he didn't have all the platforms, so I put 3 platforms up at the top. It makes it much safer and gives a bigger working area up there. The only problem is climbing up now, it's a little more difficult going up the ladder and over the top. So what we've decided to do is we keep wheeling it over to the loft area here, and we just go up the stairs and I pop onto the top of the scaffold from there. And then Anna, she's the taxi driver, she wheels me around wherever I need to go. So far it's worked out okay, and it's just high enough that I can reach about 19 feet up to the top of the ridge beam. would show up. That looks about right.
Okay.
Yep. Are you drunk?
It's these wheels.
for the vapor barrier, this corner represents a problem in that you can't really get in there because of the stove. Ladders don't fit. I've got one in there now, but it's so vertical you can't really stand on it. And then the stovepipe itself is a problem because we're going to have to cut the vapor barrier around it. So this will slow us down a little bit, I have a feeling.
Oh, be careful. So the time has come and it's tools down. We managed to complete both sides of the cathedral ceiling. That's all the vents, all the insulation, and the vapor barrier. And we've taped most of it. Certainly all the high stuff. We wanted to get that out of the way so I could return the 3 platforms we rented for the top of the scaffolding, which I just did today. And the taping's been done down to a level. There's a little bit left, but it's low enough the ladder can reach. So pretty happy about all that. It's out of the way, and the high wire act is over, and we can deal with stuff that we can reach with the ladder for the most part. So we're down to our last 3 channels of insulation up here in the loft, and because it's kind of complicated with the bathroom exhaust fan and wires and floor joists coming through, decided to use smaller pieces to fill down there. And now we're going to put in the large 4-foot pieces and bring it right up to the peak here. We've already got the last one in here. This one channel, this first one we're going to do, is going to have plumbing in the way, but we'll cut that and we'll see how easily we can get around it. This is the last channel to do. And this is going to be our very last piece. R22. We need something about 31 inches. The very last piece of insulation, reason to celebrate. There'll be ginger ale for everybody tonight. Well, we just finished vapor barring the last 3 channels right over here in the loft, and we've taped about half of it. So outside of taping some seams and some obstacles, we're pretty much done. And as I look around, I see that we've managed to insulate this whole place. And I got to tell you the truth, at points in time I never thought we'd finish. It's got to go down as one of the least likable jobs in this whole build. But at any rate, it's pretty much done, and we'll be moving on to other things and more pleasant tasks next time up.